My granddaddy used it on the Southern Pacific.
I'm always going to keep this on Memphis time.
You wouldn't have a match. Not any chance, will you? They think that we're right here. 160 times pi 3.1. That's a search area that's twice the size of Texas.
We never ever allow ourselves the sin
of turning our back on time.
If you plan on being anything less than you are capable of being, you are probably unhappy the rest of your days of your life. Abraham Maslow from Brainy Quotes. All of you here have probably heard or understand the hierarchy of needs, or the person who created it, Henry Maslow. Henry Maslow was a psychologist from the 1940s, around then, and he believed that each individual was capable and was motivated by things around them and stuff like that. So this morning I will tell you how, I'll inform you guys about the hierarchy of needs, which was Maslow's creation, which dealt with 5 matters, 5 different levels. And if the needs aren't met, it's hard to function and pursue on the pyramid, and each level of the pyramid is equally important. The first level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs can be considered the easiest for people to accomplish, or the hardest. This deals with the physiological needs. The needs such as that everybody has to have air, water, food, clothing, and even reproduction. And if you can't find and meet these needs, you will basically fail or even ultimately die, because if you can't eat, you can't drink, if you can't find shelter, you'll die and fail. And Maslow believed that you won't be able to make it up the hierarchy of needs pyramid. For Tom Hanks in Castaway, right when he ended up on the island, he had to find food, he had to find clothing from the shipwreck, things like that. In addition to the first level, safety is equally important and next on the pyramid. As we move up, the requirements get harder and harder to accomplish. At this level, the needs for safety and security become major. We need some type of order and ideal in our life. Maslow believed of 3 different types of safety. The first safety dealt with employment, job employment, which is kind of necessary for even society today. That would be like, no matter what, people have to have a job, even if it's a job that pays the bills that you don't really like, or a job that you love, but it doesn't really help you out too much, but you love it. He believed that we had to have some type of security of job, some type of payment. Next is healthcare or security. Security for our own well-being, basically, and he believed that if you can't help yourself, that you wouldn't be able to move up the pyramid. And lastly, this safe environment. He believed that you'd have to be safe from the things around you, stuff like that. And for Tom Hanks in Castaway, he had to find shelter. And for today, an example for today would be like trying to find, if you live in a not so good neighborhood, they always try and improve and make it the best they can be, just with what they have to work with. After the 2 basic needs levels have been met, we can move on to inner self-actualization, which is top on the pyramid. The 3rd level for Maslow's pyramid is the social needs. These deal with how we show affection. We have to have love, friendship, stuff like that. Maslow saw that relationships such as those help us humans achieve our basic needs and help motivate us to move up the pyramid. Maslow suggested that we are trying to fit in. Not only are we trying to fit in, but we are trying to be successful at it. For Hanks, whenever he was having a tough time, he found that pocket watch from his wife that showed the picture, reminded him of who he was, and it helped him motivate and get through the hard time. And he had to have friendship. He had to have the other motivation of friendship, which was Wilson, and those ultimately helped him survive. Yet again, Maslow's next theory affects all of us, and if not, it's hard to finish the self-actualization. Once the three needs before have been met, our esteem needs become important and are next on the pyramid. We respect motivation from others, and we find it important that we get them. These reflect our self-esteem. We have to find personal growth and where we act on the social level. We find it important to get people's attention, and we have to have it. Examples would be like, we try to fit into society by maybe sports or clubs or activities, personal hobbies even. Finally, the last and equally important to the level that Maslow suggested we are all trying to reach is self-actualization. This is the uppermost level on the pyramid. This is a person's full potential and what Maslow suggested we are all trying to get to. He believed that people such as Albert Einstein, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Frederick Douglass all became self-actualized people because they tried the hardest to do what they were doing and become perfect at it. He believed that in order to become self-actualized, you have to try and get to your full potential. He believed that artists and people like that. For today's society, it could be like athletes trying to become better, maybe Olympians, students who are trying to learn the most of what they can learn in their area of studying, even professors. For Tom Hanks, he became not only more physically a better person and mentally a better person on the island, but he felt on his 4 years on the island. In conclusion, we find ourselves struggling through each one of these levels sometimes in our life, and it applies to every single person, even in this room. We have to understand the pyramid more to know how to become successful at it. And if we can't move up the pyramid, Maslow suggested we wouldn't be able to fulfill our full destiny of becoming self-actualized. Even though Castaway was just an extreme example, it applies and proves the Maslow's pyramid. And we will all go through struggles. It's up to us to find our own personal motivation. What a man can be, he must be. This need we call self-actualization. Thank you.